Hey, it's Tom and Sandy Corrigan from Sanctuary Ranch in Elizabeth, Colorado. And why are we doing a Facebook Live at 20 to 3 Mountain Time?
Because we're small business owners, and a lot of you are, we know.
Because we're in our houses.
That's
we're
right.
social distancing.
And we've been asked to stay off the streets and where we can get in trouble. And
get in trouble.
Yeah. And we're asked to stay home, and we got to figure out how to do this. And this is not the first time we've encountered this, right?
No, well, I don't know. I mean, it's not the first time we've encountered a recession or some kind of big financial crisis or blip, but we didn't have to stay home.
No, we didn't, but a lot of us did during that time because we didn't know what to do. So we wanted to talk about the importance of staying connected, staying in community, and also the dangers of isolating right now.
So, hi, Debbie and Joe. Sometimes I think, people have private messaged me, or sometimes they've just even put on Facebook that I have this just amazing, incredible life. And I do. You feel very blessed. I'm married to you. I have a great family. I live on acreage. It's beautiful. We have horses and a dog, and we have good friends. I mean, I really can list all the really remarkable things. And even with all of that, this has been tough. So a few weeks ago, I volunteered at a public event, and I ended up getting really sick. It's going on 3 weeks. I'm still coughing a little. I still have, some symptoms. I think it was influenza A, not COVID. I mean, I didn't get tested, but so I have just recently kind of come out of this recovery. And when that happens to me, because I am busy and active, I get kind of depressed. And I felt myself kind of spiraling, no matter what I did, I didn't have any energy. I couldn't focus on anything. I could barely read anything or watch TV. I did a lot of just sleeping, which was good for recovery. But I really noticed that my emotions were taking a hit and my thought patterns were not very positive. I felt kind of hopeless, whatever. And thank goodness, Tom could run our 3 to 5 clubs during that time and do real estate, because I was just out on the couch
and wiped out.
And then on top of that, having all of this, and we were talking this morning in one of our 3 to 5 clubs about, at first not maybe taking it as seriously. I mean, it's not like we blew it off, but I guess we've just never been through anything quite like this.
Hey, by the way, 3 to 5 clubs.
What is a 3 to 5 club?
That Sandy's referencing. There's a company here in the Denver area, the Crankset Group, that originated 3 to 5s, and they are a purposeful group of small business owners, maximum of 24 in a group, who meet together, work together to help each other grow our business in a purposeful way. It's about getting clarity. It's about getting the right mindset, then laying hold of the right tool set for any situation so that we can thrive in any market. We joined our first 3 to 5 club 10, 11 years ago in the midst of the downturn. Real estate was falling apart. We gained, again, such great insights and support and help and introductions from other people that we had some of our best years in real estate during when a lot of people were just getting out.
And it was actually during a time where we had to sell our big house. We thought we might go to foreclosure or have a short sale because we just didn't have any income coming in. And we racked up almost $100,000 in credit card debt and had to lay our daughter off, who was working for us.
And the rest of the people who worked for us.
And it was a hard time. And this community of people supported us, gave us outside eyes, helped us. And so all of that stuff I told you earlier about kind of struggling in the midst of this, I think we're all feeling some level of that. We're all feeling some anxiety. Hey, Sue, I talked to my cousin Sue yesterday, and hey, Betty, as to this is just a crazy time when we don't really know what the future holds. And we never do, but we never really do. Sometimes it's been really good, so we're lulled into thinking that we do. And so we've just chosen to press in, and we're going to start doing Facebook Lives again to encourage you and really encourage each other. And we're now doing our 3 to 5 clubs in these business communities virtually so that we're not spreading any germs, and we're really rallying all the people in our clubs to be able to invite you if you're a small business owner or you know a small business owner, you just need some encouragement. I mean, you can jump on there. We do clubs Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, the 1st and 3rd of every month. We'd be glad to talk to you in between too, because we want to be lighthouses of hope and encouragement right now with all of you. We know it's precarious for some people. I mean, we have family members in the restaurant business and in the arts that have been hugely affected already by this. And people just around us in our community were being affected. You're probably being affected. And so how do we stay in community, and how do we generate ideas? And what if we looked at this time as other times of crisis where tremendous opportunity could exist to serve people, to help people in a genuine way, to even make more money during this time? We're not talking about anything illegal or gouging people, but
hardly.
Einstein's the one that said in the midst of adversity lies opportunity. And so are we focusing on the gloom and doom, or are we focusing on helping each other explore opportunities that we might never have thought of if we weren't in this place?
It's part of what we were talking about this morning in 3 to 5 Club, and we will the rest of this week, is how to turn this challenging time. And for some people, it just means staying home, getting depressed, pulling back, losing their way, because of lack of clarity, a lack of purpose, lack of knowing how to function in this time. But we are talking about plans, and we're talking about clarity of next steps. And as a club today, we came up with some great ideas specifically for one another, because that's part of the whole 3 to 5 Club mentality and culture, that we actually help one another overcome obstacles. It's really hard to do when you're sitting at home by yourself, or you're binge watching some stupid TV show that's not adding anything to your life, or you're just binge eating because you're bored or depressed,
or you don't have anything else to do.
Join us in one of these groups this week. All you got to do is private message either one of us, and we'll send you a link, because we're doing Zoom, open Zoom meetings. But you're going to need to have an invite and a link to get it, and we'll be glad to hand it to you.
It was a really great meeting. There were 6 of us or 7 of us on this morning, and I admit, I got on, and we're bombarded with all this, and so you just kind of gotta, pick yourself up and get ready to be encouraging. But by the end of the meeting, everybody was like, "This was great. We're so glad we did this."
We have such great people in that group.
There were ideas generated and support given, and even on Facebook, I've seen some really cool stuff around. Somebody posted creating a community page where people could put on there, "Hey, here's what I need," or "Here's what I have." And so I think that, around the world, there's this spot in each of us. Maybe it's just how I believe we're created to live amazingly and have our identities just be a contribution to people. And so I believe we're going to see people rise up to be more of who they're created to be and more generous. And we're going to see ideas spawned that we've never thought of before. And even people on this call, hi, Megan and Tony and Diane and Donald. I mean, there's even people on this call, like my cousin Sue's on this. So you can say hi, Sue, if you want. And she and her husband have a machining business in the north part of Denver, and they make incredible stuff.
I know.
And who else did I see on here? Oh, Barb Walker, who's an incredible painter. And so we're going to bring people on. We're going to figure out, probably by Zoom. We used to be able to do it in Facebook. I wish Facebook, if you're listening, would bring this back, where you could invite people to be on in different parts of the world
split
screen
with you and
split screen. But we're going to figure out how to do that in Zoom, because yesterday we tried it.
Hey, Dennis.
And we couldn't hear Tom. Chuck and I could hear each other, but we couldn't hear Tom. But we'd love to interview you. We'd love to bring you on, let people know what you do, what you have to offer locally or even globally, because some of you are set up globally to be able to serve people. And so,
and how you're functioning during this time. I mean, again, there are people today, we know, because we've talked to a lot of people, who feel lost. They just feel like my norm has been shut down. I don't know how to function with these new restrictions, I don't know how to overcome the fear. You know, there's what's the term that was offered by
Hopium?
No, that
Hopium.
one.
Hopium's like velleity, for those of you who know that,
right.
Which is just like a really intense wish or desire, but with never any intention of actually
doing no real plan on pursuing it.
But it was called hopium.
But there's also this overwhelming kind of black cloud over the country.
Like a foreboding.
A foreboding.
Yeah, kind of almost a foreboding spirit.
Yeah,
right?
so that
everything's going to end.
Right. That we don't know if we're going to live past the end of the week. I'm just telling you, we are. You know, in our short lives, we've seen, we all, many of us lived through 9/11. We just thought everything was coming to an end then. I mean, businesses stopped, the economy pulled back. Everybody was in constant state of fear for a number of years. I grew up, was born a few years after the end of World War II, and most of the country is still shell-shocked. Because they thought that the Nazis and the Japanese were going to just overwhelm the entire world. And it took many years for people to shake that off and to regain their sense of hope and direction and faith and clarity. But we are those people. And we want to remind you of who you're made to be. And we can do that together. If you're struggling today, we want to connect with you. We want to encourage you. There are people around you who can do the same thing. But here's the number one: you got to make yourself available. And two, you should ask for help. Right now, I think it's okay to go, I don't know.
And you know what else? Like, if you're going to play what if, then why don't you create some clarity around that? Why don't you take out a journal or your recorder or talk to somebody and you could record the conversation? And why don't you just say, well, what if, and then fill in the blank with the most amazing, cool stuff you could consider, right? Because what if's just a game of imagination anyway. And instead of
rather than what if I die tomorrow,
right? Or what if the sky is falling, or what if everything's coming to an end? What if you suddenly get this idea for your greatest business idea? Or what if you figure out something you've always wanted to do, and why not now? And I was telling the group this morning too, I was down taking care of our horses and we were talking about fear, and I was saying, Tom, you know what my fear is? I just decided to voice it. I'm like, my fear is because I don't have a spleen and I'm more immune compromised and I could get pneumonia easily. It's not even all of that or like battling through the sickness. My fear was, what if I'm gonna have that tube stuck down my throat and I'm awake because I'm super claustrophobic and I can't breathe and I can't talk or whatever. And Tom started laughing, and I kind of started laughing too. But I did it with
a sense of empathy.
Because he's like, that's not gonna happen to you. I'm like, okay, but if it does, just promise me they totally knock me out and I don't wake up with it. Now, maybe some of you could I wish there were the laugh emojis or something could laugh along with me, but it's because I'm claustrophobic. It wasn't really about I'm going to get sick and die or something else. But what also happened is I started shifting my thoughts. I started thinking, well, what if this is a chance to live more fully? What if this is a chance to say, just like when people do get some sort of terminal life sentence and they suddenly start saying, well, I just better live every day. And so right. What if we just used this time, this sort of war on our health,
hey, Robin.
And instead of wondering what if we're going to die, instead of what if this is a time where we're really going to start
Sue
living.
Ellen was laughing with you.
Sue Ellen's laughing with me. So what if you always want to play an instrument,
Tony.
speak a language, do another business, maybe you haven't talked to somebody you wanted to talk to, for a long time, or maybe you'll meet some strangers you want to talk to online, or like get some paper and a pencil or colored pencils or markers out and start engaging your imagination on what could this extra time, you might not have to drive to work, you don't have to spend money on gas, because you could
You're probably not going out to eat. There's time to save a lot of money right now.
Right. Or if you are...
Or reinvest it in somewhere else.
Yeah, if you are going to go out to eat, then be intentional. Go pick up something in your community so a restaurant can stay in business. But what are the innovative things that you want right now? Like one of the things we talked about is get clarity. If you could plan anything for the next year, next 6 months, next 2 years, what would that look like? What have you always wanted to do? Because maybe the time is now.
That's right. Maybe the time is now. There are, as Sandy mentioned earlier, there's opportunities that come up in times like this. We just need to step back and think about it. one of the functions of 3 to 5 Club, we were brainstorming with somebody who said, I want to do something like that. I've always wanted to do an online business, but I'm not sure what I would focus on. So we were working together because there's wisdom in the crowd. We could help you.
It's a great book, by the way. Get it, Wisdom of Crowds.
There's sometimes it's a slight shift in your business model because all of a sudden you're going, wow, that didn't exist before. Now that issue exists. We're going to see a bunch of that stuff come up, right? Because we haven't been cloistered off. We haven't been told to stay home in our lifetime.
No.
And we grew up through massive epidemics of mumps and measles and polio and.
Our moms used to say stuff like,
get out and play with your friend who just got the measles.
Pox. In fact, your mom did that. It was tonsils. You all got your tonsils out at the same time.
Yeah, I think they got a group rate or something like that.
So we're not suggesting that, but
our parents sometimes would get us exposed, all their kids at one time, so they could just get it over with.
So maybe,
I don't know if that would be looked upon as child abuse today or not, but nonetheless, they saw an opportunity and they grabbed it. Hey, right. Lucretia.
So maybe you've always wanted to start a business, and you've thought, "Gosh, I don't know how to go about doing that." And so maybe we should just post the Zoom links some places, like on our Facebook, for the meetings that we have, and people can even jump on. We'll see if we can do that. But you can private message us, or
we're glad we're not going to withhold it from anybody.
No, you can email Tom at cranksetgroup.com or Sandy at 3, the number 3, TO, the number 5.com. I'm sorry.
No, club.com.
325club.com. And we can send you a link. And Tom at cranksetgroup.com. Tom at cranksetgroup.com, Sandy at 325club.com.
You can private message us.
Or you can private message us. We've got a club tomorrow morning from 8 to 12. We have a virtual club Thursday morning from 8 to 10.
Tomorrow.
I'm sorry, 8 to 10, not
Slow
4
down,
hours.
just a little bit.
2 hours. 8 to 10 Wednesday, 8 to 10 Thursday, 3 to 5 Thursday. We could even do some other ones. Like if there was enough interest, we can certainly
pull together a group of people.
Do a nighttime or, whatever, an afternoon or something for you. So if we have...
And we actually have more capability right now of doing these groups than we did in the past because we need a private meeting space. You have to drive to it, you have to make time, and all those kind of things. So because of this medium, there's a lot more we can actually do. So we're here actually to serve you. That's really part of our mantra in life, and our mandate is that we really want to help people transform their lives. We just see this as another opportunity to do so. We really want to encourage you, don't isolate. Stay out of sitting in the dark by yourself and twiddling your thumbs and going, I don't know what to do with my life or my business right now. We can help you. There's resources available to you, and there's life to be had.
Maybe you are really great at something that you could do some Facebook Lives, or you could do some little videos you could throw up on YouTube. Eventually you could turn that, you could use something like Teachable and sell a course. Even if you sold it inexpensively and a bunch of people bought it.
Hey, Lucretia, we're talking to you right now.
Yeah, Lucretia could teach us how to be better public speakers, or
how to be present, how to have a presence.
Like maybe play an instrument, or you speak a language, or you sing, or you do art, or something else. Maybe you're great at fixing stuff, or gosh, we have been so fortunate to have YouTube living out on the ranch, because it's every week there's something to fix, and so it's let's find.
We have a whole bunch of things out here we've never encountered living in development in Highlands Ranch or Littleton. So thank God for people who are willing to share their talents on there, and that we have a really talented handyman to call when I get in over my head, and they wade right into that, and they're able to fix stuff. So.
And even socially, just for all of the girls watching, sorry guys, you're going to have to figure this out yourself, but this Friday at 4 o'clock from 4 to 6, I'm doing a girls virtual happy hour. And so you can PM me for the link, which I need to create today. And you can bring your favorite beverage, adult beverage or non-adult beverage. And we're going to just brainstorm. We're going to figure out ways to encourage one another. We're going to brainstorm ideas to get through this time. We're going to support one another. We're going to ask for help. And so it's going to be the first of a bunch of these, you know, till we can get back face to face. I don't know. Maybe we'll just keep this going because we'll have people around the world wanting to be part of it that can't just fly in or drive across town to be with one another. So
hey, Jeff,
get your creative juices flowing out there around how you can be serving the world and how you can be a contribution, because every time we do this, every time we do a club, every time we do a Facebook Live, every time we call somebody on the phone and encourage them, we get encouraged back. So we're doing as much to strengthen ourselves during that time, and you guys can do that too, because y'all all have something to offer. So maybe you're a stay-at-home mom who has like super creative ideas for what to do when your kids are home right now, because who knows when they're going back to school. But there's a lot of resource in all of us, so let's tap into it.
I was talking to friends yesterday, and we're going to close with this. And at the end of the conversation, they said, Tom, would you check in with us from time to time? Because we don't have family here, and the support group's not that large, and we just really want to stay connected because we don't want to slip. You know, we're going to slip into losing hope. Mm-hmm. And so I said, absolutely. And hey, Frank. And so reach out to somebody and say, hey, let's just connect with one another every couple of days, you know, and say, hey, are you getting out of bed? Are you getting out of your pajamas?
Out in the sunshine, go for a walk.
Yeah, are you getting out and just doing the things that bring life. So hang on to hope. Right now, we need to live by hope. Hope precedes, belief and faith, and don't slip into hopelessness. Both of those things are contagious, and we just decide what we're going to affect each other with.
Yeah. We 3 to 5 Club started in Denver, and if you go to 3 to 5, so it's the number 3, the word TO, the number 5 club.com, you can see where all the clubs in Denver are located. Chuck and I think John's clubs are still face to face. We just chose not to do that because basically all of our meeting spaces closed down right now, and so we were forced to go virtual, but we're having fun doing that anyway. There are clubs in Ireland, there are clubs in Virginia Beach, in Pennsylvania. We have new facilitators in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Minneapolis, Carrie's in Minneapolis. Portland. And we are looking for people that would love to bring this concept to their city or their country. People that have had small business and love encouraging other people and facilitating other people being successful as well. So if that's something you guys are interested in, PM us, and we'd be glad to do a Zoom with you privately and tell you, the training involved, and so we could get you up to speed, because, this is a movement of hope in the world. This is a movement to help people either foster growing a small business they already have or starting a small business. And there's lots of people that work jobs that have always thought about having a business on the side, or maybe even turning that business into something full-time. So this is a terrific time to start that. Again, because you could do clubs virtually. And
we're still able, running a number of clubs and still able to serve our real estate clients.
Yeah.
So
we do alongside other things.
It doesn't have to be either or, it can be both and.
Yeah.
So reach out to us.
Yeah, we want to help you.
Thanks for checking in today, and we'll be back tomorrow. So hang on to hope.
Yeah, and if you need us in the meantime, just PM us, because we're around.
See you soon.
Bye.